We are entering a new era. Everything is changing. The way we buy, the way we work, the way we live, and the way that people make money online. And there's a group of people who are taking advantage of it to get paid as much as doctors every month without having any previous business experience. And all of that without ever having to show their face, create content, or build an audience themselves. And all of this is possible because of what experts are calling the creator gold rush. More about that in just a minute. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to build an online business. So pay attention, because I'm about to show you how to take advantage of this market gap to build a real business that generates paychecks like this in just a matter of weeks. Now, I'd like to be 100% transparent here. So I have to say this, just because I get these results doesn't mean that you will. After all, I am the creator of this system. And I like to always make this clear at the beginning of any training because my reputation and success are built on how transparent I am. So I certainly can't guarantee that you will get results like the ones I've gotten. But what I can 100% guarantee is that what you are about to see are the results of other regular average people who are using this simple beginner-friendly business model that I'm about to show you. Just like Mohammed here, who hit his first $1,000 just 30 days after getting started with this business model. Or James, who after a week applying this model made $6,000 plus a full revenue share deal signed, which can take this number up to tens of thousands of dollars a month. Or Carl, who made $7,000 in 3 days on a brand new offer using the exact same strategy that I'm going to share with you here today. So in case we haven't met yet, my name is Iman Gadji, and if you're looking for the best business model to start as a beginner and to accomplish that without having to spend years working 10 plus hours a day just to get a decent income, or without having to build a massive audience online or be a dancing monkey on TikTok, and finally, without having to invest your hard-earned money in some risky opportunity that may end up costing you all of your savings. In fact, you can do this without having to invest barely any money at all. Well then, congratulations. This video is exactly for you. I'm going to show you the exact 3-step, just click the buttons business that complete beginners are using all over the world to get paid as much as doctors. And I'm going to deliver all of that to you and more in just the next 33 minutes. So if you don't have 33 minutes to invest in your financial future, well then I guess this business model wouldn't be a good fit for you anyway. Now, if you stay here and watch this video until the end, I'm going to send you as a gift a plug-and-play step-by-step tutorial specifically for the step that most people usually struggle with. And before we start, I'd like you to know that everything I'm about to show you, I'm speaking from first-hand experience. I've been running my own online businesses for over 10 years now, and because of my success with them, in 2025, I reinvested a large part of my net worth to become a co-owner of Whop, the fastest growing online marketplace in the world. Our users are currently earning over $240 million a month with their online businesses on Whop. And the cool thing about Whop is the way that we make our money is by taking a tiny percentage of whatever money that you make through the platform, which means simply I'm incentivized to show you what's actually working right now because I only make money when you make money. And another one of my most recent acquisitions is a 9-figure consulting firm established in 2016 called Consulting.com, which was previously owned by Sam Ovens. And this is my day job. Our pricing for our enterprise clients starts at $25,000. So if only 0.1% of you succeed with this today and go on to become enterprise clients of ours at Consulting.com, well, in that case, that's tens of millions of dollars in revenue for the business. So it's fair to say that I have a pretty good incentive to show you what's working right now. So let's get started. There are 3 reasons why this business model works so well. The first is that it's a beginner-friendly business model, which means it's an ideal business model to start even if you have no experience. The second is that it's an exploding industry. It's projected to be worth $500 billion by 2027, and the people in this industry are in desperate need of your help. And I'll explain that in just a minute. The third is that it taps into what I call the creator gold rush, which means that you get an unfair advantage just by being early to help creators who have an audience but no products. First, let me explain to you what a beginner-friendly business model is. And I'll do that by showing you the way that most people approach starting an online business and why that's the reason over 90% of them fail. Seriously, if you're trying to start a profitable online business, you don't want to do this stuff. It's deadly. So most people try to start making money with dropshipping, high-ticket sales, or trading, but they never take the time to evaluate the business model on a fundamental level. So they never realize that those are not beginner-friendly business models. They are all viable business models, and yeah, maybe you can make money with them. However, some business models will allow you to make millions a month, but will be really hard to succeed as a beginner. Whereas others will allow you to make up to 6 figures while being realistically attainable for beginners. Making this mistake is kind of like playing a new video game on the hardest difficulty instead of working your way up. So people end up spending tons of time spinning their wheels sales, and that results in them getting frustrated and most of the time losing all the savings that they invested in it. Now, what if you decided to actually evaluate how beginner-friendly the online business models available out there are before risking your money and time on them? That sounds like a pretty smart idea, right? Well, let's do that together right now. There are 6 key metrics that come into play when we are evaluating business models. Unitary gain, that's how much you make per transaction. Startup capital, that's how much money you need to start. Speed to first dollar, that's how fast you can make your first sale. Skill requirements, that's what you need to know to get started. Fulfillment complexity, which is how hard it is to deliver the product or service. Scalability, which is can you grow without working more hours? Because if you can't, well, then you have a job and not a business. So now let's go ahead and use these metrics to judge the most common online business models. Let's start off with high ticket sales. High ticket sales is when you become a sales rep for someone else's online offer, usually priced between $1,000 to $3,000. You get calls booked on your calendar and you need to sell them on this offer. Here, the unitary gain is very decent. You only need a few sales to hit $10,000 a month. For startup capital, you can start with basically zero or maybe a few $100 to buy a nice camera and mic. And speed to first dollar, here you're looking at 2 to 6 months of learning sales, building trust, building confidence, learning how to put yourself out there, then finding your first offer. But here's the problem. To sell high ticket, you need to get really good at sales. I mean, realistically, we're talking about 1 to 2 years of practice to get consistent. Most beginners don't have the time to develop it. Fulfillment is the perk here. Since you're selling someone else's offer or product, you don't need to worry about any fulfillment. With scalability, you're trading time for money. Every new sale requires you to jump on a sales call, which means the only way to make more sales is by working more hours. There's no leverage. Would you say this is something you want to spend 1 to 2 years to get good at as a beginner? Then we move on to dropshipping. Dropshipping is selling physical products without holding inventory. You ship directly from supplier to customer. Now, the unitary gain here is $20 to $50 per sale. To make 10K a month, you need 200 to 500 sales. That's a lot. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but to sell that many units of any product in a month requires a lot of marketing skills as well as capital to invest. And that's why the startup capital is high. You need $1,000 to $5,000 minimum to test products and run ads, which could all go down the drain if you don't know exactly what you're doing. And I know this because back when I was running my agency, we worked with a few dropshipping brands and we would test 20 plus products before finding one that works. That is expensive. Speed to first dollar is usually 3 to 6 months because you're constantly testing and testing. For skill requirements, you need to know Facebook ads, product research, customer support, shipping logistics. Basically, you need to become a full stack entrepreneur. Fulfillment complexity is medium. Although you don't hold stock, you have to deal with supplier issues, shipping delays, refunds. Scalability is okay, but the more you scale, the more your ad cost goes up, so your margins get thinner. So do you see why this is not the most ideal business for a beginner? Now we have affiliate marketing. It basically consists of promoting other people's products and earning a commission. It's a pretty similar situation to dropshipping. Unitary gain is $50 to $250 on average. Startup capital is $1,000 to $5,000 because you need to run ads or you have to build your own audience. And if you don't know what you're doing, that money disappears fast. Speed to first dollar is 2 to 4 months while you're figuring out what converts. Skill requirements are high. You need marketing, copywriting, and either paid ads or content creation skills. Fulfillment is easy. The product owner handles everything for you, but scalability is medium. You need more and more traffic, which again costs more money. Profit margins are thin. 60 to 90% of your revenue goes back into ads. So out of 10K in revenue, you might only keep 1 to 4K. Yeah, sure, better than a job, but not amazing for beginners. Next, we have trading. Now, trading is a slightly different story. I don't really consider it a business model, although it's the #1 choice for most people when they start building an online income. And look, I get the appeal because it looks so simple, but when you look at our matrix here, you understand why things are not as simple as they look. Let's start with unitary gain. This metric is simple to define for a business that sells a product, but for something like trading, it's undefined because in one trade, you can make $200, but in the next one, you could lose $300. Startup capital is between $5,000 and $10,000. It's a model that requires you to have money in order to make money, which is not ideal for someone who's just getting started. Speed to first dollar can be quick in a matter of days, but you can also lose your first dollar just as quickly. Skill requirement is the biggest barrier here. I can personally count on one hand how many people I know who can consistently be profitable in trading over the long term. When it comes to fulfillment and scalability, this is where it scores high because you don't really need to deliver any product or service. So while trading looks simple and appealing on the surface, the reality is that you're gambling with money that you need in order to make more money. There's no predictable income and there's extremely low odds of long-term success. Now, let me show you what would be the ideal beginner-friendly business model. let's use our 6 metrics. When it comes to unitary gain, ideally it should require just a handful of sales to get you to 10K a month. So that way it becomes a realistic and achievable goal. This means that you should make at least $2,000 per project. For startup capital, ideally it should be as close as possible to $0 because as a beginner, you don't want to be risking money that you don't have. For speed to first dollar, you want it fast, ideally 14 to 30 days, so that way you see results quickly, because if it takes too much longer than that, the likelihood of you quitting goes through the roof. For skill requirements, it needs to be low. You should be able to learn the basics in a week, not a year. For the fulfillment complexity, once again, it needs to be low. You don't want to be stuck delivering work forever. Scalability should be high. You should be able to make more money without working more hours. Now, with all of these criteria set, I can confidently say that there's one single solution that fits the bill. It is a model that allows you to tap into other people's audience and access dozens of thousands of dollars in profit potential without you having to create any content yourself or show your face online. The startup capital is virtually non-existent. All you need is a business email and you're good to go. And a single one of these partnerships can make you anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000 with the exact same amount of work on your end. And here's the beauty of this business model. In today's day and age, you don't need to learn any skill yourself to do this. Now, previously in the past, you would have needed to be very skilled to get into this model. And that's why this industry used to be reserved to a small few select up until this point. But because of the recent advancements in AI, this has now changed. AI can now do all the heavy lifting and specialized work for you. And this is why this is the most beginner-friendly business model that I have ever seen. Now, before I show you the exact 3-step system beginners all over the world are using to take advantage of this creator gold rush, while having AI fulfill all of the work for them, I need to explain why this opportunity exists right now and why the next 12 to 24 months are the best time to get started. Again, it all comes down to this creator gold rush phenomenon. Here's what's happening. You've probably heard that the creator economy is exploding. Right now, it's worth over $250 billion. By 2027, experts predict that it'll be worth $500 billion. There are over 50 million creators worldwide, but here's the problem. Most creators have no idea how to monetize their audience. They have the audience, they have the trust, but they don't know how to turn that into income. Sure, maybe they make a little bit of money from brand deals and sponsorships, but that's unpredictable. And for most, it's not even a full-time income. What they need is a digital product that they can sell to their audience, a course, a template, a guide, a community, something that solves a problem for their followers and generates consistent income. That's exactly how I made millions online with my own audience. And if you look online, that's how everyone who has an audience makes their money. Now, they might say that their money is from trading or drop shipping or high ticket sales, but if you actually dig beneath the surface, they make their money through digital products that they sell to their audience. And these are the big creators. But you see, the smaller creators, they don't have the time or the tools to create digital products. Most small creators, they're working 6 to 8 hours a day creating content, engaging with followers, posting stories. And that, my friend, is where you come in. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't know how to create a digital product either. And that is exactly where this business model shines, because you don't need to know how to do that. You can build the whole product for them using AI. It only takes a few clicks when you have the right specialized AI tool to do the job. And I'm going to show you how to do the whole thing step by step in just a minute. Then you get to keep a percentage of the profits from what this digital product generates for them. It is the ultimate win-win. They get a product and revenue, you get paid without ever showing your face or building an audience. James is living proof of that. On his first week in this business, he signed a creator on a 70-30 revenue split. And on top of that, got paid $6,000 as a setup fee. Now, we usually tell our clients at consulting.com that they don't need to charge any setup fee, but would you mind getting paid $6,000 upfront before putting any work in? Well, that's a possibility with this business. The way this model works is extremely simple. You partner with creators, you build digital products for them, and you get a percentage of the profits. And you get this entire process done for you using specialized AI. And that is why this opportunity is for anyone with no prior experience or skills. Just like Tyler here, who signed his first creator while working 10-hour days and being a single dad of 3 kids. And that is why this is the perfect beginner-friendly business, because you don't need to have a lot of free time. You don't have to invest thousands to get the business running. You don't need to create an audience or show your face online. And AI takes care of all of the fulfillment for you. But before I show you how to make money through our 3-step, just click the button system, I need to address something here. When I say creators, you probably think of big name creators with millions of followers. Those are not the creators that I'm speaking about. I'm talking about small creators creators, fitness coaches, language teachers, business consultants, photographers, gardening specialists, people with knowledge about a very specific topic and with passionate followers who already know, like, and trust them. Here are the types of creators that you should look for with whom you can make serious money. They are called micro creators, creators with anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 followers that talk about a very specific topic. Zach, for example, who partnered with a creator who only has 17,000 followers. That was enough to make Zach 6 figures. Or Andrew, who made $15,000 in the last 24 hours and over $57,000 on the niche topic of sober living homes. He has 39,000 followers on his Instagram, the exact type of creator that I'm referring to here. Now, all of these examples are from creators who are already monetizing their audience with a digital product, which is about 1% of all the micro creators. You see, the other 99% of micro creators, they could be making just as much money as the ones I showed you, but they're missing someone like you to help them put together a digital product in the first place. In the grand scheme of things, micro creators like this are merely a drop in the ocean. According to data from Linktree, there are 41 million of these creators. Most of them don't even know that they're sitting on a gold mine. You just need one. If you could get one of them to say yes to you, you could easily launch a digital product to their already existing audience and get a slice of the profit pie. A slice as big as $20,000 for a small creator paid out directly from WAP to your bank account. And you would continue to get paid for as long as the creator keeps promoting this product to their audience. I know creators making $30,000 a month from as few as 5,000 followers. At a 30% revenue split, which is not uncommon with this strategy, you'd be getting paid $9,000 a month without having to put in any additional work, without you having to grow an audience from scratch or show your face online, just by tapping into the audience that the creator already has. Someone who does this is what I now call a growth marketer. That's exactly how Anne-Marie got paid $3,000 upfront plus a 20% revenue split from a simple 1-hour conversation. Now, let me give you some perspective on how fast this market is growing. As I said, I'm the co-owner of a platform called WAP. WAP is where creators sell their digital products. It took our users 4 years to earn their first $1 billion, and that was a massive milestone. But then it took them just 6 months to earn their next billion. And right now, we're on pace to reach the third billion in just 4.5 months. So the first billion took 4 years. The second billion took 6 months. The third billion took 4.5 months. You cannot ignore the data. The creator economy isn't just growing, it's exploding. And so is the demand for people who can help creators build and launch these products. Creators are making millions selling digital products, and most of them didn't build those products themselves. They partnered with someone, a growth marketer, who built it for them. And that could be you. So let me actually show you how to start making money with growth marketing through our 3-step, just click the buttons process. I like to call it the 3-step growth marketing system. Step 1, find. Step 2, build. Step 3, launch. When you execute this process correctly, you should be able to find 1 to 2 new creator partnerships a month. At $5,000 a month each, which is a very low amount for something like this, that's $5,000 to $10,000 in new monthly recurring revenue each month. That's $50,000 a year on the lower end and $100,000 a year on the higher end. And remember, with each new partnership, this number compounds. In a few months, you could be making $50,000 from a single partnership, depending on how big the audience of this creator is. To make that much in a regular job takes a lot of qualifications, decades of work experience, and slave-like hours. For growth marketers, $100K a year is the norm. So let's get into step number 1, find. This is where you identify and partner with creators who want to monetize their audience. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey man, I don't know any creators. What if they ignore me? What if I reach out and they say no? And that's exactly the problem that most people focus on. They think the hard part is the outreach, but here is the truth. The hard part isn't getting a creator to respond. The hard part is getting them to respond to the wrong approach. Let me explain. Most people who try growth marketing make this mistake. They find a creator and send a generic message, something like, hey, want to work together? And then they wonder why no one responds. But here's the thing. What would you do if you got a message like that? Would you get back to it or would you ignore it? Let's be honest here. It's very likely that you would just read it and ignore it. So if even yourself would ignore this message, what makes you think that this will work for other people? It won't. So how should you go about approaching these creators? Well, what if instead of asking for something, you gave them something valuable first so that you show you can help them by actually helping them? Wouldn't that be a much better strategy? Well, that's exactly what I recommend you do. Here is what we advise our clients to do instead inside of consulting.com. You're going to show up with a complete customized plan for how they can monetize their audience. One that shows here's exactly how you can make 10 to 50K with a specific product tailored to your audience. That is what I call a monetization game plan. It looks something like this, and it's the secret to getting creators to say yes. The idea of this monetization game plan is simple. to make the creator realize that they are sitting on a gold mine and that you are the only one with a map to extract the gold. In practice, it's an audit of their profile showing what content is working and what their audience actually wants to buy, how much money they're leaving on the table, specific product ideas tailored to their audience, and a complete launch strategy for this product. When you send this to a creator instead of a generic pitch, the number of yeses you get goes through the roof because you're not asking them for something. Instead, you're giving, and you already did all of the hard work for them. This plan includes what product they should create based on their audience's needs, how much they can charge based on audience size and niche, projected revenue, how much they'll make on the first launch strategy, the exact 14-day process to sell it. You're gonna send them this plan. Not, hey, you want a partner? But I analyze your audience and here is a custom monetization strategy I built for you. And it was using a monetization game plan like this that Johanna signed her second creator only 2 days after signing her first one at a 30% revenue share. And by the way, that was after she spent 2.5 years in the online business space with no previous success. And the reason this monetization game plan works so well is because you don't have to manually create this plan. The AI does it for you. Let me go ahead and show you how it's done. So instead of theoretically telling you how to do this, instead, why don't I just show you the proof over the shoulder while we go through it together on my laptop. All right. Next up, we are going to go to Ghostwriter. There we go, monetization game plan. So click on that agent, press use. There we go, voila. Very, very simple, okay? Could not make this more easy for you. This is literally about as copy and paste as it humanly gets. I actually don't think I'm going to do anything here except for copy and paste. So first thing we are going to copy is we're going to go over to Instagram and copy this creator's Instagram handle. We are going to put it here. There we go, press enter. And what Ghostwriter is doing, it takes a few minutes. It's basically going to go ahead and transcribe all of this creator's content and analyze it, okay? So it's going to look for similarities. It's going to look for talking points. It is literally going to do a full deep dive audit, the sort of stuff that manually would take you hours and hours and hours to do, because in real time, it's transcribing all of the content. In real time, it knows exactly what's said, how the audience responded to it. Did they respond positively? Did they respond negatively? It's going to, as I said, analyze and go, all right, when the creator talks about these pain points or these specific discussion points, the audience loves it, okay? And of course, because the audience loves it, that's because these creators are educational creators. So of course, whenever they're talking about a topic and it's getting higher engagement, that means that there's more potential buying power there. All right, so it's gone ahead and analyzed. So we're going to press generate, and there we go. The monetization game plan is going to start. So as we go through this, you're going to start to see the creator overview, the opportunity, which is the demand analysis, and you're going to start to see recurring themes and how these themes are actually monetization gold mines. You're going to see the numbers. Now, actually here, what's quite interesting is for audience value, the engagement rate is 3.1%. So that's pretty much spot on. So you can see here, the revenue potential is 61,000. Yeah, anyways, all that to say, you're going to see product suggestions, implementation, the 14-day strategy, and immediate validation. Okay, these are the test carousels. This is super, super cool. You're going to send this to the creator, and this is basically a way for the creator to validate and know that, hey, my audience wants to buy. Okay, so when you send this to the creator and they post it on their story after they get the monetization game plan, they're going to go, wow, I'm literally sitting on a gold mine. Okay, everyone is responding to my DM saying, I want to purchase, I want to buy, I want to buy. Okay, then you reach out, but you're not sending a cold